Hi everyone. Today we're going to do a little circle art. So what I want you to do is find a bunch of circles. They can be lids from different containers, whatever you find that you can use. Try to get an assortment of sizes. And I'm using a crayon here. You could use a Sharpie or something like that, but I like the crayon because I'm going to paint this and I want to have that wax on the paper. So what I want you to do is start coloring in these circles. So if you have paint, great. If you don't, you could always use some crayons or something that you can overlap. But I want you to paint the circles so that you are mixing the colors that do overlap, where they overlap. And so you can make some new colors and see what happens when you mix those colors together. So some of them, of course, are going to be familiar. I mix some blue and yellow and I get green in that little intersection. But some of them might be a little bit unexpected as well. You might end up with darker shades of different colors. You might end up with neutral colors. That means like when I mix something like blue and orange together, I get this kind of brownish color. If I mix red and green together, I get kind of a grayish color. It all depends. There are no limits on what colors you could end up using. You could choose a limited set of colors, so maybe you just want to mostly do blues and greens and purples, or maybe you just want to make them more sunsetty colors. You can make those kinds of choices, and you can see what happens, and it will all, of course, look very different than mine. But this is a nice little experiment, and you'll end up with a pretty interesting piece of artwork as well, because where those circles overlap, it's going to end up almost looking like they're transparent. So if you were to layer a bunch of different, let's just say you had a bunch of little plastic see-through discs that were all different colors, and you put one on top of the other, then you would see those colors mixed together and make a new color in the spectrum. You could do, if you wanted to, more than just circles. You could try different shapes that you might find around the house that you think are interesting. But for the sake of this, I just chose to go with the circle shape. But if you have anything else that you find inspiring, please do go ahead and add it. It doesn't just have to be the circles. I do think about where you're putting your colors so you get some balance. Make sure if you've got green somewhere, you put green somewhere else so that your eyes pop around, kind of like we did on the scribbles from the subconscious. After it dried, I went back in and outlined my lines to make them thicker, and that's that.